Things about the Kennedy family that don't make sense. Few American families have been as influential and as shrouded in mystery as the Kennedys. With figures like President John F. Kennedy and Senators Ted and Robert F. Kennedy, they built a political dynasty marked by triumphs and tragedies. However, even today, many aspects of their story remain unclear. From Joe Sr.'s political missteps to the strange circumstances surrounding Rosemary's lobotomy and the Chappaquiddick incident, certain events still leave us with more questions than answers. Here are 10 perplexing facts about the Kennedys that continue to spark intrigue and debate. Number 1. Joe Kennedy's self-sabotaged political ambitions. Joseph P. Kennedy Sr.'s ambition to become president crumbled due to ill-timed statements and reckless diplomacy. As U.S. ambassador to the UK from 1938 to 1940, he sought to avoid American involvement in World War II, lobbying for appeasement with Nazi Germany. His ties with controversial figures like Neville Chamberlain, who pursued a disastrous appeasement policy with Hitler, compromised his political standing. Kennedy's fall from grace accelerated when he told the Boston Globe, "Democracy is finished in England. It may be here, just as the Blitz ravaged London." His defeatism alienated President Franklin D. Roosevelt and the American public. His inability to adapt to changing political realities or soften his controversial views cost him his political ambitions and likely the presidency. Why he clung so tightly to such dangerous rhetoric, despite the clear political risks, remains baffling. Number 2. The mystery of JFK's missing brain. After JFK's assassination, doctors at Parkland Hospital in Dallas conducted an autopsy, during which the president's brain was removed and placed in a stainless steel container. In 1965, Robert F. Kennedy transferred the brain to the National Archives for safekeeping. Yet, by 1966, the brain was missing, sparking widespread speculation. Some believe RFK had the brain destroyed to conceal the severity of his brother's medical conditions, including Addison's disease, or the extent of medications JFK was taking. Others argue that the brain might have revealed inconsistencies in the official narrative of the assassination. Without the missing evidence, the disappearance of JFK's brain remains one of the most enduring mysteries of American history. Number 3. Kathleen Kennedy's defiance and family exile. Kathleen Kennedy, born in 1920, was known for her vibrant personality and independence. While living in London during her father's ambassadorship, she fell in love with William Billy Cavendish, Marquess of Hartington, heir to the Duke of Devonshire. Their relationship defied her Catholic family's wishes, as Billy was Anglican. Despite fierce opposition from Rose Kennedy, Kathleen married Billy in 1944 in a small civil ceremony attended only by her eldest brother, Joseph Kennedy Jr. Billy's death in World War II only months after their marriage left Kathleen devastated. Years later, she began an affair with Earl Peter Fitzwilliam, a married Protestant aristocrat. This relationship further strained her ties with the Kennedys, with Rose threatening to disown her. In 1948, just days before Kathleen was to meet with her father to discuss her future, she died in a plane crash in France. None of the Kennedys attended her funeral, a striking rebuke that highlighted the rigid moral expectations imposed on the Kennedy women, expectations notably absent for the men. Number 4. Why did JFK secretly record White House conversations? Between 1962 and 1963, President John F. Kennedy installed a covert recording system in the White House, taping meetings and phone calls in the Oval Office and Cabinet Room. Kennedy's motivation remains unclear, but some historians suggest he sought material for a memoir or wanted to hold his advisors accountable after the Bay of Pigs disaster. In that failed operation, misleading advice from military leaders had resulted in a humiliating defeat. While presidents like Franklin D. Roosevelt and Dwight D. Eisenhower also used recording devices, JFK's tapes took on an air of mystery when revealed after his assassination. They documented crucial moments in history, including deliberations on the Cuban Missile Crisis. However, unlike Nixon's infamous Watergate tapes, which contributed to his downfall, Kennedy's recordings remain a perplexing chapter of his presidency. Was he safeguarding history or wielding political leverage? Number 5. Why did Jackie Kennedy endure JFK's infidelities? Jacqueline Bouvier Kennedy, well aware of her husband's reputation, was repeatedly humiliated by his affairs, including high-profile relationships with Marilyn Monroe and Judith Campbell Exner, who was also linked to mob boss Sam Giancana. JFK's constant infidelity strained their marriage, especially after Jackie endured multiple miscarriages and a stillbirth. Rumors persist that Joe Kennedy Sr. offered Jackie a substantial financial settlement up to $1 million to stay married. While the truth of this claim is unclear, Jackie ultimately chose to remain with JFK, possibly valuing the political power and public image they built together. After JFK's assassination, Jackie's decision to marry Greek shipping magnate Aristotle Onassis shocked the world, but it further underscores her pragmatic approach to survival in a complex world. Number 6. The perplexing motives of Lee Harvey Oswald. Lee Harvey Oswald's life was a series of failed attempts at significance. Born in 1939, he drifted through a troubled childhood and joined the Marines, where he became enamored with Marxism. In 1959, Oswald defected to the Soviet Union, but his hopes of becoming a communist hero were dashed when he was denied citizenship. Disillusioned, Oswald returned to the US, only to find himself ignored. Oswald's frustration culminated in violent actions. In April 1963, he tried to assassinate General Edwin Walker, a staunch anti-communist, but failed. Just 7 months later, Oswald killed President Kennedy, cementing his place in infamy. His own assassination by nightclub owner Jack Ruby only 48 hours later adds to the murkiness surrounding his motives. Was Oswald a lone wolf seeking recognition, or was he part of a larger plot? Number 7. Rosemary Kennedy's lobotomy, a tragic secret. Rosemary Kennedy, born in 1918, was the third child of Joseph and Rose Kennedy. A difficult birth deprived her of oxygen, causing cognitive delays. Though she participated in public family events, Rosemary struggled with literacy and exhibited mood swings that worsened in her early 20s. The Kennedys initially sent her to elite schools and convents, but her father feared that her erratic behavior might cause a public scandal. In 1941, without consulting his wife, Joseph Sr. authorized a prefrontal lobotomy, a crude surgical procedure aimed at managing mental illness. Dr. Walter Freeman, a notorious pioneer of the lobotomy, performed the surgery by cutting connections between Rosemary's frontal lobes. Instead of calming her, the operation left Rosemary with the mental capacity of a toddler. She spent the remainder of her life institutionalized at St. Coletta's School for Exceptional Children in Wisconsin, rarely mentioned by her family. Only decades later did the Kennedy siblings publicly acknowledge Rosemary's existence, with Eunice Kennedy Shriver drawing on her sister's struggles to champion disability rights. The question lingers, was the lobotomy necessary, or was it an overreaction driven by Joseph Sr.'s obsession with the family's public image? Number 8. Why do Kennedy assassination conspiracies persist? The shock of JFK's assassination spawned countless conspiracy theories, fueled by the inexplicable randomness of his death. Even members of the Kennedy family have lent credence to these theories. RFK Jr. has publicly suggested that both the CIA and organized crime could have been involved in his uncle's assassination, further complicating the official account. Such theories endure because they offer a sense of control over chaotic events. While the Warren Commission's findings concluded that Oswald acted alone, doubts persist. The assassination of Robert F. Kennedy in 1968, shrouded in its own controversies, only deepened the sense that unseen forces were targeting the family. Number 9. The Chappaquiddick incident's strange legacy. In July 1969, Ted Kennedy drove off a bridge on Chappaquiddick Island, resulting in the death of Mary Jo Kopech, a former RFK campaign worker. Kennedy swam free but failed to report the accident for nearly 10 hours, claiming he was in shock. The delayed report meant his blood alcohol level could not be tested, leading to speculation about his sobriety that night. Although Kennedy's presidential ambitions were derailed, he remained a senator until his death in 2009. The Kennedys' ability to contain the political fallout from Chappaquiddick demonstrates the power of their influence. Yet the question remains, how did Ted Kennedy's career survive such a scandal when others might have been destroyed? Number 10. RFK Jr.'s defiance of family expectations. Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s 2024 presidential campaign perplexed both his family and political observers. Known for promoting controversial conspiracy theories, RFK Jr. claimed that Sirhan was not responsible for his father's assassination. His endorsement of Donald Trump after suspending his campaign shocked his siblings, leading Kerry Kennedy to publicly rebuke him. Why RFK Jr. persisted in his campaign despite familial opposition and why he ultimately aligned with Trump remains a mystery. His actions reflect the complex dynamics of a family known for its political influence, but they also hint at the deep personal struggles and divisions within the Kennedy clan.